Senator Deb Fischer was in the area and got a chance to sit down and talk with our NTV's Grow co-host, Steve White.
I wanted to start asking you about waters of the U.S. What's the status of that in terms of implementation? Where's the EPA stand on that one?
The EPA has settled their rules and regulations on waters of the U.S., so they'll be dealing with the implementation. As you know, I have been an opponent of waters of the U.S. It has a tremendous impact on the state of Nebraska and really on every citizen in the state of Nebraska. Last year I had a hearing for the Environment and Public Works Committee of the United States Senate in Lincoln.
You know, I know there's been some resolutions and some things like that. Certainly the president is not going to sign anything that's going to undo this, but did you think it was important to at least say, hey, we need to stand up and voice our strong opposition here?
Oh, exactly. You know, I'm on a couple bills in the United States Senate. Senator John Barrasso from Wyoming has a bill that would deal with this. Also, Jeff Flake from Arizona has one that would look at the costs and being able to address those with it. And then there's court cases out there as well. And Nebraska is part of a big court case against waters of the U.S. So hopefully through these different avenues, we're going to be able to roll this back and be able to help the citizens in Nebraska.
You know, I talk to rural landowners who say, the law says navigable waters. If you want to say that water that sits on my ranch or my farmland here and there is navigable, what are you thinking? You know, I mean, I'm sure you've heard those comments, right?
Oh, sure. You know, we always hear about, you know, a farm pond that's going to be taxed and under these rules and regulations. We hear in my area, there's deep concern in the sandhills about sub-irrigated meadows. You know, in the spring and the fall, we have water come up that's sub-irrigated meadows and then it recedes. Does that mean that ranchers are not going to be able to graze those meadows? They're not going to hay those meadows? I mean, just think of the impact on the livestock industry of this state, which happens to be an economic driver for the state of Nebraska. You know, those are deep concerns for the people of this state.
And it's not just the EPA, OSHA, there are any other number of organizations. OSHA, for example, I've heard farmers say they want to deal more with anhydrous, and certainly we understand there are safety concerns there, but we, there again, don't want to put these burdens on things that aren't necessary. I'm sure you hear all sorts of examples along these lines, don't you?
Oh, definitely. You know, and you just brought up a really good one there, Steve, with OSHA, with the ammonia storage that we're seeing at the retail level. We have an energy bill up before us in Congress right now, and I've been working really hard trying to get an amendment on that to roll back an interpretation recently from OSHA about that storage tank regulation. They're saying that retail outlets cannot have a 10,000-gallon tank. I mean, can you imagine the effect of that in the state of Nebraska? It's just going to be very difficult to deal with.
Got that grow forecast coming on up. Stick with us.